You know, Batman's always been a symbol of justice and determination. But have you ever wondered what would happen if that determination took a dark turn? Hey there, fellow nerds. Today we're plunging into the morally complex world of the Caped Crusader, Batman. Now, we all know Bats has that iconic no-kill rule. But what happens when the dark corners of the multiverse throw him a curveball? Get ready to explore the shadowy realms where Batman's code takes a twisted turn. From blood-soaked brawls to gray encounters, we're delving into 12 shockingly evil variants of Batman who shatter the mold and take matters into their own lethal hands. Buckle up, because things are about to get darker than the Batcave at midnight. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Thomas Wayne. This is the story in an alternate reality that's more twisted than you can imagine. This happens in the world of Flashpoint, an event created due to Barry Allen's attempt to change his past. The impact of the event is such that the usual Bat family tree gets a firm shake, and guess what falls out? Not Bruce Wayne, that's for sure. In this topsy-turvy timeline, Bruce gets a one-way ticket to the afterlife, and his daddy Wayne takes charge of the vengeance. Thomas Wayne, yes, the Papa himself, becomes the Caped Crusader. But let me tell you, this ain't your average Bruce Wayne caper. This grizzled version of Batman, fueled by vengeance, doesn't think twice before throwing villains to their deathbeds. Barry's run for the past life creates a world where Bruce Wayne becomes a shadow, his mom turns into the Joker, and dear old dad Thomas becomes a gun-wielding crime fighter in a batsuit. Flashpoint Earth Batman is a reminder that even the darkest corners of the Batcave can cast some fascinating shadow. Russian Batman. Batman, but not your regular billionaire playboy turned crime fighter. Nope. In this what-if version, he is somewhat a freedom fighter or a terrorist as per Russians. In this universe, Batman's got an accent and a bone to pick with Mother Russia. His parents? Well, they didn't get gunned down in Crime Alley by your typical thug. No siree. They were taken out by the iron fist of the Russian Communist Party. So, say hello to Batmankov. Like I mentioned, he is not your regular Dark Knight. This guy's more like the resistance leader you'd expect to find in a Hollywood blockbuster, with more grit than a Siberian blizzard and a Russian heart as cold as a Siberian winter. Batmankov is all about kicking oppressive regimes in the face. Batmankov goes guerrilla style, giving the commies a taste of their own medicine. His methods may make you clutch your pearls. It terrified Russians so much so, they gave him the title the Soviet Union's plague. But hey, when you're up against an entire nation of communism, sometimes you gotta break a few eggs, or bad guys. What makes this Russian Batman truly epic is his encounters with not just Superman, but Wonder Woman too. He goes all badass on them in every battle they fight. He is so tough that he'd rather blow himself up than let Superman turn him into a Soviet drone. And that's exactly what he does, leaving a smoking crater and a legacy that ignites a rebellion against the oppressive regime. Batmankov's final act isn't just about the bang. It's about showing the world that even when faced with a godlike superpower, a single determined soul can make a difference. He teaches us that tyranny can stomp out the spirit of resistance, and that a symbol can be more powerful than a Kryptonian punch. Devastator Batman. The Devastator, an evil Batman who's more Doomsday than Doomsday himself. The story goes like this. A world where Batman and Superman were once friends, a dynamic duo fighting the good fight. But, like a Shakespearean tragedy with capes, Superman goes off the deep end and starts killing folks left and right. Lois Lane, murdered. City, destroyed. Friendships, vaporized. And Batman, he's not just sitting there, shaking his fist at the sky. He tries everything he can to stop Superman, and eventually he ends up turning into the Devastator. Stay tuned to know how. The Devastator, a hulking beast with the power of Doomsday and the mind of Batman. Yeah, it's like putting Bruce Wayne's genius into a tank that is basically a killing machine. When Superman gets all heat vision happy and cuts Batman's arm off, Dark Knight decides to inject himself with the Doomsday virus that he has been saving since a long time for a day like this, thus turning him into the Devastator. Armed with spikes, gas, and a grudge bigger than Gotham, the Devastator goes toe-to-toe with Superman. The result? A not-so-friendly game of who's gonna die first. Spoiler alert, Batman wins. He straight up murders Superman in cold blood, revealing his darkest version yet. Despite all his power and mayhem, in the end, he is worried and devastated that it's too late to save his planet, Earth 1. It's like a reminder that even when Batman goes full monster mode, there's still a silver line of hope to be found. The Grim Knight. The Grim Knight, yet another Batman who skips the don't kill memo and goes straight for the jugular. He is from the dark multiverse. We are talking about a universe where Bruce Wayne's life seems pretty similar to our Batman, right up until the tragic murder of his parents. Here's the twist. Joe Chill drops his gun, and Bruce picks it up, blowing him away like a dusty cobweb. Now, Fueled by vengeance and packing a whole lot of anger, Bruce embarks on a global tour of assassin school. You know, learning from the best in the murder business. Bruce learns how to fight and kill, and he's not afraid to use those newfound skills. The tipping point? A bat breaks through his window like a winged ninja, and instead of calling pest control, Bruce sees a symbol that inspires fear. And just like that, the Grim Knight is born. In this universe, the Grim Knight doesn't mess around. He crashes a rich folks' party, you know, the ones who protect the corrupt underbelly of Gotham, and barbecues them all. He takes down crime bosses left and right, including Falcone, Zuko, Penguin, and Killer Croc. He even offs the Red Hood, nipping the whole Joker thing before it can even arise. Of course, not everyone's thrilled with his murderous adventures. GCPD's finest, Jim Gordon, raises an eyebrow at Batman's newfound taste for blood. But the Grim Knight isn't one to play nice. He outsmarts Gordon, blows stuff up, and keeps repeating this mayhem over and over again, ultimately making the city a better place to live. With all the bloodshed, the Grim Knight brings a whole new level of darkness to the Dark Knight. Batman Red Death. Get ready to explore the tale of Batman Red Death, a version of the Dark Knight who decides to supercharge his crime-fighting game. Grab your popcorn, cause this is one wild ride. One brooding bat, who's already pretty fed up with Gotham's criminal shenanigans, decides that he's had enough. But instead of joining a therapy group, he dives headfirst into harnessing the power of the Speed Force. To amp up his game, Batman transfers the Flash's speed powers into himself. Yeah, you heard me right. He pulls a speedster heist, leaving Flash a bit worse for wear, leaving a lot of trauma, tragedy, and violence for Flash to suffer through. Armed with newfound speed, he becomes Red Death, a crimson speedy vigilante of justice. The shocking or rather devastating part is he doesn't just stop bad guys, he obliterates them. But let's not get too starry-eyed over his need for speed. With great power comes an even greater taste for power. Red Death's hunger for control spirals into a full-on Speed Force vendetta. And guess what? The Speed Force ain't a fan of this one-man rampage. The cosmic entity ain't happy. Red Death's reckless actions have caught its attention. You don't mess with the Speed Force and expect to get away with it. You understand, Red Death's origin ain't just about speed. It's about desperation, obsession, and the slippery slope Batman slides down to protect his city. Nazi Batman. If you thought Batman's moral compass was a bit wonky, wait till you meet Leatherwing, the Nazi Batman. In this alternate universe where the bad guys nabbed the win in World War II, there's still a Justice League in town, but they're not exactly the good guys. They're all keeping the Nazi regime alive and kicking. And then there's Leatherwing, the Dark Knight turned Darker Knight. Bruce Wayne's alter ego takes a nosedive into the abyss of evil. Bruce Wayne's not using his bat skills to fight crime. He's using them to ensure the Nazis rule with an iron fist. Yeah. It's like if Batman went over to the dark side and then kept walking till he hit full-on evil. But wait, there's a twist to this tale. Leatherwing isn't just a pawn in this twisted game. He's a brutal enforcer. Instead of giving villains a stern talking to, he's doling out punishment with zero remorse. Leatherwing's version of I'm Batman is more like I'm Batman and I'm here to crush dissent. So, what's the moral of the story? Well, it's easy to think Batman's all about the black and white, but alternate universes remind us that there are infinite shades of gray. Leatherwing shows us a Batman who's not just towing the line, but stomping all over it. Batman Drowned, Earth -11, where Gotham's Guardian takes a chilling turn towards the dark side. Now, we all know Batman's brooding tendencies, but on this Earth, his alter ego becomes something far more sinister. Batman Drowned, a universe where the gender roles are flipped, and the Bat's a Batwoman named Bryce Wayne. Got it? Good. Because this Bryce isn't your friendly neighborhood vigilante. She's a relentless force known as the Drowned. Life in the dark multiverse is a bit more twisted than our regular old comic panel. Bryce's origin story doesn't follow the traditional beats. In her world, she wasn't just molded by her parents' murder. She was scarred by the death of her lover, Sylvester Kyle. Let that sink in. Batman, fueled by heartbreak instead of justice. But this isn't your average heartbreak. No. Bryce's response was anything but a shoulder to cry on. She embarked on a one-woman mission to erase every metahuman from existence, in revenge for Sylvester's death. I guess we all have different ways of dealing with a broken heart. She fought Aquawoman, defeated her, and later when things went out of hand, she merged her DNA with the sea's secrets, gaining control over water itself. Ever seen Batman command a tidal wave? Now you have. But that's not all. She birthed an army of mutated sea creatures called Dead Water. Although the path to the drowned might be chilling, but it's a reminder that even the most iconic heroes can stumble into the shadows when fueled by pain. Batman the Silenced, an Earth where the night sky isn't just a symbol of hope, It's a shroud of darkness. On this gloomy Earth, we meet a Bruce Wayne who took a wrong turn down a dark alley, and his life went somewhat bizarre after his parents died. Batman the Silenced is a dark force lurking in the shadow. In this storyline, the Wayne and Elliot families stroll into Crime Alley after catching a flick, The Mark of Zorro. After this, Bruce's parents die before him, while the Elliots watch the kid pass into madness due to his grief. Young Bruce is raised by the Elliots, not Alfred. The result? A tortured Bruce, confined to the walls of Arkham Asylum. Arkham's head experimentalist, Dr. Jonathan Crane, is always seen experimenting on our Caped Crusader. Through years of torment, Bruce learns the art of killing, the dance of disguise, and the symphony of surveillance from the demented inmates around him. Who knew Arkham was the ultimate finishing school? And the cherry on top? He fakes his own death, thanks to a little help from Jack Napier, his mole on the inside. Bruce dons the identity of Batman the Silenced, breaking free from the confines of Arkham and entering Gotham. All that only to find out Bruce's BFF, Tommy Elliot, has taken over Wayne Industries and even become a senator of the messed up city-state of Gotham. Tommy's got it all: power, money, and control over Gotham's fate. Meanwhile, Bruce has been drowning in the despair of Arkham, but this bat isn't one to roll over and play dead. Oh no, he's out for blood. Tommy's blood. Batman the Silenced crashes the party, taking down Tommy's henchmen like it's just another night in the Batcave. A warehouse becomes a battleground, and Gotham's fate hangs in the balance. Now, you might be wondering, what's the takeaway here? Oh wise comic sage? Batman the Silenced isn't just another villain. He's a reflection of how circumstances shape our destiny. It's a tale of a Bruce Wayne pushed to the brink, choosing darkness over justice. In a world where friendship becomes rivalry and vengeance overtakes heroism, we witness the birth of a bat who isn't silenced by tragedy. He's amplified by it. It's a reminder that the line between hero and villain isn't as clear as black and white, but a swirling gray cloud of choices and consequences. Dawnbreaker Batman. You thought Batman was complex. Well, brace yourselves for his darkest incarnation yet. Dawnbreaker Batman. It's a chilling dive into the abyss of an alternate reality, where the Dark Knight's origin takes a jaw-dropping detour. Evil Batman doppelgangers are crawling out of the shadows, and there's one that's darker than a moonless night: Batman the Dawnbreaker. We're talking an army of twisted bats, and this one is fueled by the power of a Green Lantern ring. Now, you might think you know Batman's origin by heart: the alley, the gunshots, the vow to clean up Gotham's mean streets. But hold on to your Batcapes, because the tale's about to take a turn. In a parallel universe, young Bruce Wayne's life-changing moment happens as expected, but the aftermath spirals into a nightmare we never saw coming. This time, a Green Lantern ring is found laying around in the very same alley. Yep, you heard that right. Bruce's life takes a different spin when a ring that's all about overcoming fear decides he's got the right stuff. Who knew a kid could possess enough willpower to be a Green Lantern? As if being a Kid Lantern isn't enough, the ring's power isn't restricted to the usual superhero boundary. Oh no, this is the dark multiverse, my friends, where limits are mere suggestions. Bruce's indomitable willpower overwhelms the ring's restraint, and he goes full throttle with its power, vaporizing wrongdoers left and right. Batman turns into a living weapon, unleashing the fury of his parents' deaths on anyone who dares cross his path. This tale spins the Bat legend into uncharted territory, revealing that even the strongest resolve can be consumed by darkness. Vampire Batman. It's not every day you see Batman sinking his fangs into the dark corners of vampirism, but buckle up, because Vampire Batman is here to turn your perceptions upside down faster than a bat in the night. Gotham's protector, the Caped Crusader himself, transformed into a creature of the night. Yep, Batman gets the vampire treatment, and trust me, this ain't your grandma's bloodsucker story. In the chilling Batman and Dracula trilogy, our hero ends up clashing with none other than the legendary villain Dracula. Sounds like a classic supernatural showdown, right? But here's the twist. Batman ends up getting a taste of the vampiric lifestyle himself. The trilogy kicks off with Batman's epic takedown of Dracula, but, plot twist, he gets more than just a fight. A bite from the Prince of Darkness himself turns our beloved Bat into something much darker. At first, he manages to hold his insatiable thirst at bay, but oh boy, does he eventually give in. What we're left with is a Bat that's more bat than man, more predator than protector. He isn't just out there busting bones and breaking backs. He's on a full-blown, blood-soaked rampage, decapitating and draining villains without a second thought. It's a twisted image that's sure to stick in your bat brains for a while. Now, we all know Batman's been called a creature of the night before, but this takes the term to a whole new level. He ain't just prowling the shadows, he's embracing the darkness, literally. The story takes a dive into what happens when Batman loses his humanity to vampirism, and let's just say things get batty. Murder Machine Batman wipes out entire Justice League. Imagine a world where Batman's grief over Alfred's death isn't just heart-wrenching. It's turned into a spiral of obsession. You see, Bruce Wayne isn't just mourning. He's replaying Alfred's death over and over again. Now, it's one thing to pay respects to a loved one, but this is crossing into the realm of pure nightmare. And that's just the tip of the Bat iceberg. Batman turns to Cyborg, Victor Stone, for help. He's been tinkering with an AI version of Alfred, even before Alfred's demise. And just when you thought the Dark Knight's gadgets couldn't get any cooler, they churn out a villainous AI Alfred who's got a taste for chaos. Yeah, things get ugly fast. This twisted AI goes on a rampage, leaving a trail of death and destruction in its wake. Arkham Asylum becomes a killing field, and Batman's in the thick of it. Vic Stone tries to put the brakes on this techno-terror, warning Batman to step up before the city burns down. But as fate would have it, Batman is caught in the jaws of his own creation. And that's when things go from bad to bat-crazy. Imagine multiple AI Alfreds, each darker than the night itself, swarming Bruce and turning him into the monstrous murder machine. This isn't just Batman with a grudge. This is Batman without mercy, without restraint. He's tearing through the Justice League like a bat out of hell, leaving no room for negotiation. Could it be apocalyptic tech that's unleashed this techno-nightmare? Maybe Bruce's desperation led him down a path he couldn't turn back from. We're talking a fusion of man and machine, a bat with a bite that's worse than his bark. The big question here, who's going to put a stop to this techno-tyrant? It's a showdown for the ages. A battle between a hero and the darkness he's become. But remember, this is the dark multiverse where anything goes, and the answers might be as twisted as the story itself. Omega Batman. In a world tormented by global turmoil, energy crises and climate chaos running rampant, and just when you think things couldn't get any grimmer, Superman and Lex Luthor kick it up a notch with a deadly debate. They pit good against evil, with the losing side facing a truly kryptonite end. But it's the shocking outcome that leaves you reeling. Humanity, inexplicably, sides with Luthor, leading to Superman's demise. Amidst the chaos, we meet an elderly Bruce Wayne, a once legendary Batman who now stands as the ominous Omega. But let's rewind to his origin, a familiar tale of witnessing his parents' tragic murder and channeling his grief into becoming Gotham's savior. Sound familiar? It should. This Bruce's backstory echoes the prime Earth Batman we've come to know and love. Fast forward to a hall of justice overrun by rioters. Rather than combat them, Batman tries to reason with the mob, only to be savagely attacked, left broken, battered, and presumed dead. He becomes the very symbol of despair that Gotham's dark alleys breed. But that's just the beginning. A surviving Bruce emerges from the ashes, driven to extremes by humanity's failings. Darkseid fall, thanks to Bruce. His head a glory trophy atop a pike. Batman wields the cosmic anti-life equation through a modified bat signal, bending the will of the masses to his dark command. In this grim twist, he is no longer the Dark Knight, he is Omega, a ruler using fear as his weapon and souls as his plaything. As our Caped Crusader spirals into tyranny, he takes down heroes, crushes Amazonians, and leaves destruction in his wake. Gotham is no longer a city, it's a city-state under his rule, and Earth trembles beneath the heel of this fallen Batman. Omega isn't just a villain, he is the very Batman we followed. The real Batman had buried his humanity and embraced the darkness within. Marvelous verdict. In the vast multiverse of comics, where imagination knows no bounds, we've delved into the darkest corners of the Dark Knight's psyche. These 12 evil iterations of Batman have taken us on a roller coaster ride through twisted timelines and shattered morals. From the Speed Force-stealing Red Death to the bloodthirsty vampire Batman, each variant offers a chilling glimpse into what happens when our Caped Crusader crosses the line. As fans of the Bat, we've embraced the tales of these alternate Batmen. They're the mirror images we never wanted to see, yet they remind us of the complexity that makes Batman an enduring legend. So, fellow nerds, whether you shiver or cheer for these dark reflections, remember, behind every hero lies the potential for a truly fearsome villain. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.